I'll be there when you're down, when you're losing your crown, till the afterglow, the afterglow. You look so great when you gotta shine. One more part of you is gone now, as you keep smiling at the crowd. Pressure is your best enemy, spotlight show what I wanna see. Sometimes it feels like you're under attack, you just can't break free. I'll be there when you're down, when you're losing your crown, till the afterglow, the afterglow. I'll be there when you fall, when you're losing it all.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is Friday night. It is time for the Smackdown Security Detail with your host, just Chris Best for once. As we're waiting for the show to get underway here, we got the signature coming up here. Coming to us live from Hartford, Connecticut. Oh, we got Tiffany Stratton making her way into the arena, as tonight she will be taking on Michin in the semifinals for the Women's United States Championship title. And there's Michin also making her way into the arena as well. There's Bayley. She's got her semifinal match against Chelsea Green tonight. Chelsea is my pick to take the win here. We got Solo Sikoa, too, who is scheduled to go one-on-one with the former United States champion in LA Knight. LA Knight looking for this match, especially after what happened last week when Solo had attacked LA Knight and Andrade, actually. Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens are going to have a final word tonight. Wonder if there's even going to be any words in there, as we see Jimmy Uso making his return. Of course, he's coming out on crutches. Not his in-ring return, but I'm wondering he must have something to say tonight. Broke his toe diving off of the cage onto Jacob Fatu. The OTC has spoken. Tonight we're going to hear from Roman, apparently. But Jimmy's got the microphone. Let's take a listen to what he's got to say. So we had Jimmy Uso coming out and saying that it's going to be a big year for Jimmy, and then basically Jimmy coming out and saying he has no idea what's in store for him. But then we see Drew McIntyre show up and take out Jimmy. Bobby Stats, how is it going here? Glad to have you on the show, my man. But Drew McIntyre is just taking out Jimmy, and he's doing exactly what I said he's going to be doing. He's taking out people who have an association to Roman Reigns. He's already taken out Sammy. He's taken out Jay. Now he's taken down Jimmy. And coming up next, we will have Tiffany Stratton taking on Michin in the semifinal for the women's U.S. title. Bobby Stats, I'm doing good. Just chilling here and watching some Smackdown, waiting for OMD and Chris Parrish to make their presence felt. And that was just a quick little introduction of my cat Pepper, who's being a little bit of a nuisance right now. Bobby Stats saying he went to Panera Bread for lunch today. I've never been to that restaurant. But today for my lunch, I had a toasted everything bagel with some cheese whiz on it. It was delicious. But tell me, guys, how people out there, who have you got taking the win between Michin and Tiffany Stratton? Bobby starts saying Michin is his pick. Michin is also my pick to take it as well. Mostly because my other pick over Bayley is Chelsea Green. And I kind of want to see a Michin Chelsea Green final. And right now we're taking a look at the Fanatics WWE titles that are out there for the various sports ones. Interesting. Bobby, thank you for liking my cat. That was, of course, Pepper, who appeared on the screen. Charlie sometimes makes his presence felt too, but he's off having his dinner. But interesting what we just saw with Nick Aldis there. Nick Aldis said he was going to have Bianca relinquish the tag team titles, but then Naomi stepped up and said that she will help Bianca defend them. So now Bianca and Naomi are the tag team champions. As right now, it is Tiffy time. Give me just a few seconds here, guys. But right now, yeah, we've got Michin. And well, Tiffy's dressed up in. She's in the festive spirit with her Christmas gear right now. And oh yeah, Carmelo Hayes has a mystery opponent tonight. But Tiffany is just taking it to Michin right now. And showing up during the commercial break is one OMD.
How are we doing tonight, my friend?
Doing pretty damn good. Doing good. Had myself a very delicious supper tonight that I've been itching to make all week. I just haven't had the time, so I made it tonight.
Nice.
Had me some stir-fried rice with a couple of sausages and some fried mushrooms for my vegetables.
Nice. So I have seen the entrances, so I know we are at Tiffy and Michin. What did I miss in the first 15 to 20 minutes?
Okay, so you do want to be spoiled. So the opening promo was Jimmy Uso coming out saying that 2025 is going to be a big year. He doesn't know what's in store for him.
Okay.
Then Drew McIntyre showed up and attacked him.
Okay.
And then we went to break, and then we saw Drew McIntyre and Nick Aldis talking. And they kept on talking until Bianca and Naomi showed up. Nick then turned to Drew and said, "Go into my office. We'll continue talking later." That probably has something to do with the trade window, I have to assume.
You would think.
Nick then turns to Bianca and says, "Okay, I need to talk to you as well." He's like, "The investigation for who attacked Jade is still ongoing. However, I hate to say this, but you may have to relinquish the women's tag titles." But then Bianca was like, "No, that's not happening. There's no way that can happen." And Nick was like, "Well, it's the only option I can think of." Then Naomi is like, "Well, what about this option? What about if I join her and defend the tag titles with her?" Nick then stopped to think about it, and he's like, "Okay, but if you guys can be ready for next week, it's on." So next week we're getting a women's title match. Tag title match.
Okay.
So it looks like Naomi is stepping in where Jade should be.
Which I believe is something I called last week.
It is something we all discussed on, so I honestly thought that was a more believable scenario. It's only because I know that they call the women's tag titles the cursed titles because for whatever reason, one member of the tag team, whoever holds those titles, gets injured, or both members do. So I think they're trying to shake off that curse, you know?
Yeah.
But Drew is doing what I called, you know, everybody who's associated with Punk or Roman, he's taking them out.
Well, it was Punk, and then, of course, he had his issues going back with the Bloodline, who cost him the title back at the original Clash at the Castle.
Yep.
So, and there we have a Mr. Parrish. How are we doing, my friend?
I'm doing all right. How are you doing?
I am doing well.
Good.
I was just explaining to OMD what happened in like the first 20 minutes of the show.
when Drew attacked Jimmy Uso.
And the state of the women's tag team titles.
Yeah.
But right now, we've got ourselves a fairly good match between Michin and Tiffany Stratton right now.
Yes. And I am okay with whoever comes out of this match with the win. I do have more interest. I'd rather see Tiffany win, but I'm okay with either.
Yeah, I'm all on the Michin train.
Yeah, I'm wanting Michin to take this one because I want a Chelsea and Michin final.
Yep.
I think too, like with AJ Styles, who's reportedly backstage at TNA Final Resolution, and then obviously the Good Brothers not being there. There's really no club for Michin to be a part of, so she's kind of by herself. So if she doesn't have something kind of going for her, then she gets lost in the shuffle, and I don't think anybody wants to see that. Whereas Tiffany Stratton, she has the money in the bank. She has a storyline going with Nia Jax and with Candice LeRae. She has these things going for her where I don't know if right now she's in need of something like the championship. Now,
Right.
is she a great person to be a champion? Absolutely. I would have said yes, 100%, had she not have had something like the money in the bank already.
Right.
But
I did kind of think of a scenario though if Tiffany were to win the Women's United States title. And I had that thought, like, what if she wins the title? Then, like, say she holds onto it for like 3 or 4 months, loses the title, but then cashes in on whomever the women's champion for whichever roster she's on. What if she cashes in on that champion later on that night so that she still walks out of whatever show it is still a champion?
I'll do you one better. What happens if she cashes in on the main event for the Intercontinental Championship and ends up becoming the first both mid-card champions?
Right.
Now that would be historic.
Yeah.
The first, it'd be like the women's version of the Eurocontinental, but obviously there's no European. It's United States. But
yeah.
Oh, that was rough. And we got ourselves
a winner.
Yep.
There we go. See, that's how you do it instead of saying anything.
We have a wiener.
No, we don't. Well, because I have no hot dogs. So Michin will be in the final versus one of Bayley or Chelsea Green.
Yep. Unfortunately, we don't have that intro anymore.
I know, that's why I do it. So it makes me unique, all right?
Yep.
Hire me, Trips.
Oh, we're taking a look at what happened last Friday when DIY won the tag team titles from the Motor City Machine Guns.
We are.
I am. I did say AJ was at TNA. So if you got that, you got that. Give me 1 second, guys.
So a very impassioned promo from DIY.
I like the promo, but it had NWO vibes to it,
Right?
because of the whole black and white, the weird angles, the flashing to everything, with of course, the DIY explaining everything as to why they did what they did, and it made a lot of sense at the same time, because you did have them get screwed in Johnny Gargano's hometown out of the tag team titles to Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa, only for the Motor City Machine Guns to come in and take their title match, and then not even grant them a tag title match.
Right?
So I can understand and see why DIY did what they did. It makes sense to me, and it's honestly something I probably would do too.
Yeah.
Now we're looking at I'm seeing a preview for a movie that I really want to see.
Myself as well.
I'm a huge Lion King fan, and I want to see this Mufasa movie.
Oh, I remember. Are you actually on Sportsnet 360 tonight?
No, I'm still on Sportsnet Plus, but watching on 360 through that Sportsnet Plus app.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, I'm one of those ones too that I know everybody hated the live action version of The Lion King, but I'm one of the ones that liked it.
I haven't seen it yet. I know, really, I think the only live action movie from the Disney universe that I watched was Aladdin.
I haven't seen that one yet. The first one I watched was Jungle Book, and Jungle Book was freaking great.
Yes, actually, I did. I think I saw that in theaters, but I think that was on a blind date.
Yeah, and I gotta say, it was smart to cast Bill Murray as Baloo.
Right?
Yep. I've always said either him or John Goodman, either one of those two, I would be happy with playing Baloo.
Yep. I found it funny as I kept watching the movie, and you see Samuel L. Jackson, and you're just waiting for him to drop MF.
Yep. Dude, anytime I play Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, because Samuel L. Jackson plays the main villain in that game, I'm looking for the F-bombs that he drops.
Right.
Yeah. I've got Charlie over here loving me up now because I finally figured out what his favorite food is.
Nice.
Took me a while, but I figured it out. He likes anything tuna flavored for his food.
Okay.
How's it going, Parrish? Welcome back.
Okay, it's good now.
You were gone for 3 minutes, not 1 second.
Well, I mean, when you hear the thud like I did, I needed to know what happened.
Yeah.
Somebody fell off the couch. It's okay. Crisis is past us.
Averted.
Yeah. We don't fear tears.
Did you happen to see the DIY promo at all? Or
That's where I left off at. If you,
okay.
I mean, it was pretty much going in the sense of, hey, we got screwed for titles. Then we got mad because we were probably getting sidetracked or we're getting overlooked. Things were given to the Profits, and then we just decided to take back what's ours because
That's
we
exactly
do it
what they
ourselves.
said.
Yeah, like it's. I didn't see it, but like, come
Yeah.
on.
The only difference was the whole promo was shot like an old NWO promo.
No, I saw the beginning, and then
Mm-hmm.
then I heard boom, and yeah, no, this is like, well, I have to do what I got to do. Lucas Oil Stadium. Nice to get a little shot of where I'm walking towards in about 7 weeks' time.
Yep.
Not gonna lie, I'm trying to picture the city. So Cricket 5G, can you like? There we go. Thank you. I was gonna say, I'm like, what baseball team is in Hartford? Has to be like a AAA team.
Yeah. So right now we're getting what is the build up to LA Knight versus Solo Sikoa for later tonight.
Interesting. Personally, I think I would have preferred Fatu versus LA Knight, but
Yeah, I can see where you're coming from with that one.
I mean, let it build to Solo.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Huge challenge thrown down.
And I really hope this ends it.
Yep.
I think
So-
I know.
I read a name today. I really hope it isn't.
Oh, it probably is.
Well, the name I heard today is one Braun Strowman.
Yep. Yeah, and I just don't know if that resonates. If I'm being
Right.
honest.
It doesn't do anything for me.
Neither me, and I'm a Braun Strowman fan.
Yep.
I was kind of hoping it'd be somebody from like NXT to kind of
Right.
remind us that NXT is also involved in this trade window.
Right. Because we haven't seen anything with. We didn't see anything on Tuesday with Ava regarding the trade window. We haven't seen any NXT superstars at Raw or SmackDown talking with the general managers.
Well, I mean, I really don't think NXT is going to get many people.
Mm-hmm.
I think they are more or less there to allow some of their seasoned
Right.
people to go elsewhere. Unfortunately, I just don't see a lot of people now. Like, I'll put this out. If I'm someone who is on the road traveling all the time, and that's kind of like what you want to be doing. If NXT was still doing that, like they were starting off for a bit, sure.
Yep.
But they're not. And if you're not a resident of Florida and that Orlando area, I don't think you want to go down there and be there every week when You're
Right.
missing out on the paychecks and the bonuses that come with certain events, like the Raw and SmackDown does. So until I think NXT starts kind of being on the road again, I don't expect them to have many people moving there on a full-time basis.
Mhm.
Right.
But if NXT does get some people who are on the main roster, I could see like maybe some lower card guys like Apollo Crews, for instance, going there, you know?
They tried that though a year ago, and they brought him back up, and it fizzled out again.
Well, they didn't. No, they didn't send him back down there. What they did, and this was a well-known thing, is that if they didn't have anything going for somebody on the Raw or SmackDown, they'd say, "Hey, go to NXT, do some stuff down there, and then when we get kind of some stuff, we will." And then, unfortunately for him, plans fell through by the time he came back up, and that allowed him to be in that stage again that I don't think anybody wanted him to be in to begin with. And then they did try to have him with Baron Corbin, and then unfortunately they decided to not renew the contract of Baron Corbin. So that was in a holding pattern again for him.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I know we don't see him very often, but supposed to be a special attraction. Could we see Omos go to NXT and actually get some work?
No, because I don't think he needs. When it comes to the work, I don't think he gets that work there. I think he needs to get the work from the seasoned guys on Raw and SmackDown. Because those are their tests. Like outside of, and you can say Obafemi. Okay, but who else is going to give him that?
Right.
I mean, and realistically, that's the thing. He's very limited on the people that make sense to work down there. Whereas, you could do Braun, you can do Gunther, you can do Strowman, you can do so many more guys on Raw and SmackDown.
Could you put Omos back into a bodyguard or enforcer type role for somebody now on the main roster?
Probably.
I think that would be the better role for him.
The only way this would actually go somewhere is if this was an ambush for people to attack Braun Strowman.
Right.
And it leads to something bigger.
I mean, I would see, and I know he's injured, but Bronson Reed attacking him would have actually made sense if he wasn't hurt.
Yeah, but you've already run through that, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't think you go right back to it.
I don't know. To me, I felt like their feud wasn't finished, though.
What more could they have done?
Yeah.
Destroyed the whole arena.
If anything, I want to see Braun against Braun Breaker. That is something that I would like to see, actually. Or Braun versus the rest of the tan bottle that he did not use.
Melo playing it smart in this match.
Yep. A match that really they allowed Melo his offense, but it was a squash.
I'm going to say this. That match exceeded my expectation.
I can't
And
even
I just
say
got
that.
the finish.
How you are really behind them. I don't think anybody's used to that. But Braun only had to hit one move.
Yeah.
In that whole match.
And I mean, really, the rest of it, he was made to try and look weak, and it didn't work.
I want to know how you say anybody looks weak in that. I want you to explain yourself, because that is the most overblown statement that I hear all the time now, that I want to know why, because I don't think anybody looks weak in there.
No, because Melo still looks strong in that.
Well, that's what I'm saying, is they gave Melo all the offense in what wound up being a squash match. And honestly, the match did absolutely nothing for me. I don't think it did anything to further Melo.
Well, here's what it does now. It gets Melo upset with Nick Aldis because he feels sabotaged by the thing, to the point where he either could start having a anti-Aldis program, or it's his way to go to Monday night, and we could see that Monday Night Melt. I think what it does, it gives him an opportunity to now be directed to do something now. And he's taking this as that actual event to say, hey, it's because of this and what you did. You didn't want to take that 7-match thing I had with Andrade and do something with me. No, you decided to do this instead. So if down the road a Nick Aldis decides to put up the boots again, what match would make sense now? Carmelo Hayes.
I mean, I think that was more of a filler spot on the entire show than anything. Like, that match did absolutely nothing for me.
I don't think there is anything named a filler spot in WWE anymore.
No, because every match now has meaning, and there's something behind this. And I'm actually on board with what you had said, Parrish.
I mean, we had already heard Melo say a couple of weeks ago that he'd be happy to go be Monday Night Melo. So again, This just doesn't. For me, it was a waste of time on this match.
But now when you watch Melo, you now can be emotionally attached to him being frustrated if you want to go that route, or you can be at that person and be like, where, you know what, like, hey, I just think you're annoying. Haha, eat it. You know, I think a match like that for a fan in that stands right now, they're either cheering against him and they're happy that he lost, and now they can kind of go and stick it to him a little bit, which is what you want as a heel. Or if this is his way to be kind of brought back into that babyface role, now you actually can feel a little bit of like, well, he's not wrong when he said he felt sabotaged, and you can get by him a little bit. You can feel a little sympathetic for him, because he was told you're going to face a mystery person, couldn't prepare for, and it just happens to be a former world champion who's pretty dominant. That's usually a match you'd want to be told that you're going to have.
Yeah, but I mean, again, I don't like Braun Strowman. I think he's a waste of time. So, I mean, thankfully we didn't get his, I'm going to run around the ring and knock people down.
Sure, but just because you don't like him doesn't mean that the segment's wasted.
For me, it was a wasted segment.
For your point of view, it's wasted. But in the grand scheme of what they're doing, it serves a purpose.
Yeah, I mean,
whether or not you like it or not is a separate thing.
Yeah, for me as a fan, there was nothing to it. That was just filler.
It's like me with Zelina Vega or Dana Brooke.
There you go.
well, does Zelina Vega is not nearly where Dana Brooke is, because I still see potential in what Zelina Vega is. But Dana Brooke on the other side is like the Calgary Flames of pro wrestlers. She may get lucky once, but there's really nothing else to it. But I do think they have to find something to do with Braun Strowman, and they got to figure that out quick, because I don't know if there's a lot of matches that you want to see him in, just straight up matches. I think you need to have those feuds with the emotion in there, or you need him involved in an angle of some sort. And maybe with the loss to the Final Testament, somebody like an Eric Rowan could find himself talking to Braun Strowman,
Right.
and bringing him into the Wyatt Six.
Mm-hmm.
Because you have to think, if Uncle Howdy takes a loss, there has to be something that comes out of that, right? We've never seen Uncle Howdy get pinned before or get beat. So,
yeah.
Like, what comes out of that? Imagine, because all the cryptic Bray Wyatt promos he had before coming back showed that white rabbit. Right?
Yep.
Yeah.
What happens if that pure white rabbit was Braun Strowman?
I could see that.
I know they got something there, but he doesn't play the character of a white rabbit, but he's the personification of what the white rabbit meant. I don't know.
Right.
As we're watching Solo Sikoa make his way to the ring here, I believe it was you, Parrish, some months ago that actually pointed out that the feud between Roman and Solo was going to be over the Ulafala.
I'm saying that's how I would have booked it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you only see it all the time. You only hear about it. It's a symbol of something great. You'd have to think, if you don't have a championship between these two, that Ulafala can be something that's just as important between them than any piece of gold and leather.
Yeah.
So,
And that's what we could be getting come the January 6th episode of Raw. So put Jacob Fatu in Fortnite. All right.
put Jacob Batu in Grand Theft Auto 6. Boom.
He would fit with the type of characters that they've already featured in the trailers. Well, I thought I was going to get Solo accepting the challenge.
You still can. I mean,
Mm-hmm. Can't expect an answer out of him right away, you know?
You know, you got to get LA Knight in there, and then you can do something after the match where you'd have to think, okay, why did they show Apollo Crews? Why did they show specific people? Are Apollo Crews and Andrade going to come to the aid of LA Knight?
And is this going to maybe lead to a 6-man?
I was going to say, or do we see somebody like Shinsuke coming in to attack LA Knight? The bloodline retreats, and then Solo Sikoa looks at the camera and goes, Roman Reigns, I'll see you on Netflix or something.
Yeah.
Now, what would you say the possibility of LA Knight going to Raw would be?
I'm going to say fairly high, to be honest.
I think I'd enjoy him over on Raw.
Because I was gonna say, like, since we've already seen Legado del Fantasma already indicate they want to go to Raw, I have a feeling we might just see a trade Legado for American Made. And I think that's a trade that everybody be like, okay, that makes sense.
Yep, but can we keep then, if we do that, can we keep the Legado and LWO away from each other for a while?
Well, who's to say the LWO stay on Raw?
Right.
Who's to say that even if the entire stable would move? Because they may just want one wrestler or two wrestlers from those stables, you know?
Right.
I mean, I'm very intrigued with what can happen here, but I do think right now the American Made for Legado kind of makes sense already. But here's one that I would like to see, and that is what happens if we get Legado versus Judgment Day and Dom turns on the Judgment Day to join Legado.
That would be intriguing.
That would be a huge boost for Legado.
Yeah.
Because it would be clear that Dominic would take leadership of that stable.
Is it?
I would feel like he should, because he's the bigger star out of the four of them.
Does he act like the biggest star right now? I don't think so.
No.
I don't think he screams lead man just yet.
Mm.
I mean, look at Jey Uso. He's clearly at that point the bigger star going into that War Games match on his team for the Bloodline. That's why he went last. But he's not the leader. Nobody would view him more of a leader than Roman because right now I don't think Jey Uso screams lead guy in a group, but definitely screams his own man. Have they said if the Bayley Chelsea Green match will main event SmackDown?
They have not.
No, but I got to assume because the first match was the Tiffany Stratton Michin match, I got to assume that the Bayley Chelsea probably ends the show.
So it's been going around, and as per a few sources, Wrestle Inc. is reporting that Ted DiBiase has withdrawn from his appearance from Saturday night's main event. You're muted, OMD.
It came out that he has undergone a minor procedure, which is why he's had to. And that actually came out from an interview with Bill Apter.
Well, I mean, that doesn't mean he may not show up for the next Saturday night's main event, maybe.
Right? I'm going to be honest, this match has gone on a little bit longer than I anticipated. I was fully expecting the Bloodline to jump LA Knight right off the bat.
I still kind of expect that to happen. But again, I expect Andrade to come out and help him out.
With their history, I don't. Andrade may come out to help him, but it's going to be more Andrade doing it for himself because he took the beat down alongside LA Knight.
Well, I think probably outside of the next semifinal match, I think this might be the only other match on SmackDown. So I wouldn't be surprised if it gets a little bit of time.
Oh, we still have the Kevin Owens and Cody Rhodes final word, so that might actually be the last thing as well.
Yeah, it probably will be, given the fact that Saturday night's main event is tomorrow, and that is most likely probably the main event for the show.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'd have to think that we see something from Shinsuke too at some point.
Even Shinsuke could even make his appearance in this match too.
All right, so if we go with the theory that the KO and Cody promo is going to be the last thing on the show, I'd have to think the women's semifinal match is probably next.
Yep.
Oh, Andrade and Apollo coming out.
Yeah, we're getting a 6-man for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, it's more than likely going to be on next week's episode.
Yeah. Well, I'm pretty sure that the next week's is pre-taped. I remember reading something that.
Yeah, quite a few shows this month are going to be taped.
Yeah. And then people could say, why? I'm like, because WWE is allowing people their talent to be with their families around Christmas. So because of that, and if you want the content, they're going to have to pre-tape it. So that's why. Yeah, Wes. Just be happy that you're getting wrestling.
Which honestly, when they do a pre-tape show, makes the work for putting our show together for me so much easier. So that's where the rest of Braun Strowman's spray tan went. Grayson Waller took it.
Yes.
I guess, yeah. Gotta make sure that you get some before it runs out. Man, I never knew how many people in this world wanted to be orange until I started going into a pro wrestling locker room.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow. How the hell does somebody not do an Oompa Loompa gimmick?
Right.
Right?
So, since we are at commercial break, I think this is the great time to let everybody know that tomorrow you can check out Saturday night's main event with the PLE Patrol featuring this guy right here. And you, I'm assuming?
Yeah. Me and OMD are going to be doing the show together.
Yep.
And then after that, we have a plethora of content. So I suggest you sit back and you watch this video so you can see what that plethora consists of.
Turnbuckle Studios and the Turnbuckle Affiliation Program bring you the week of streams. All times are in Eastern Time. Monday nights you get the Locker Room Breakdown at 7 p.m., followed by the Raw Patrol at 8 p.m. Tuesday brings you the flagship show, Turnbuckle Talk, at 8:05 p.m. Wednesday we play games with the PlayStation Showcase at 8 p.m. Thursday we get a variety stream with the Boar's Nest at 8 p.m. Friday we game again with Unleashed, the Jessica Wilde story at 7 p.m. Following the game, join us for the Smackdown Security Detail at 8 p.m. The weekend brings you Saturday Night Gaming at 8 p.m. On Sunday be sure to catch the Chris Parrish podcast at 12:15 p.m. Be part of the shows and join the chat every day.
And we'd like to thank that video from the proud sponsor of the Turnbuckle Affiliation Program, where you can find more information at affiliationprogram.my.canva.site, where you can get your introduction to content creation and streaming, and also the use of StreamYard. If you go check out that link, and you can be a part of the Turnbuckle Affiliation Program, supplied by Turnbuckle Studios, which, guess what? You might be able to find yourself on a PLE Patrol featuring the two guys up here. So, Chris Bass, why don't you tell us more about the PLE Patrol tomorrow featuring Saturday night's main event?
I think he's frozen up.
Very good. OMD, would you like to take the reins on this one?
I will. Join us once again, as we do every Monday with the Raw Patrol, every Friday with the Smackdown Security Detail, the PLE Patrol. We watch along, live reaction, analysis, and just generally shooting the breeze, watching the show, bringing you everything you need to know, and answering the questions you may not have asked.
We are very good at answering questions that you never asked. As I think Bess is probably working out his connection with his microphone. So we are now about to come back from commercial break, and we are going to get the match. That is Bayley versus Chelsea Green. And the winner faces Michin tomorrow night at Saturday night's main event for that inaugural Women's United States Championship. OMD, who is your prediction in this match?
In this match, I'd love to see Bayley go over, get really a big name behind that belt. but we've already got the babyface in Michin, so I'm going with Chelsea Green. But like you, I believe, Mr. Parrish, I've got Michin winning the whole thing.
I never said I had Michin winning the whole thing. I just said I had Chelsea Green and Michin in the final. I said I wouldn't be surprised to see Michin win. Best, are you back with us?
Yeah, I don't know what I sort of froze up after the video played, but yeah, I'm back and I've got Chelsea Green taking this, and I've got Chelsea Green taking the whole thing.
Yes, because what better option to have a women's United States champion than by having a Canadian win it first?
Right?
Yep.
That's why, in a weird way, I wanted Natalia to be the first Intercontinental champion, too, because in Canada, nailed it! Can start adding gold to the Maple Leaf, all right? Also, I kind of thought of this today. How funny would it be if Chelsea Green did win the title and then Matt Cardona and Chelsea Green can both take a photo of the Intercontinental Championship that they both won with a white strap? Because, yes, that's the same one Cardona won too, when they went back to the classic look on the white strap.
I feel like it's been a while since we saw Chelsea in singles action.
It has.
Well, I mean, technically, the last time you would have saw her was in their triple threat match, because that was a singles match.
I meant one-on-one.
Well, you didn't specify, so.
Well, that is a one-on-one in a triple threat.
Yeah. You can't get to one-on-one without one-on-one, so. Yeah, the rare smart-ass tag team work from OMD and Chris Parrish. You laugh.
Right?
No, I wouldn't be surprised to see maybe a Becky Lynch come to SmackDown coming into 2025, and then that would allow somebody like Bayley to kind of move to Raw, which I think might be a good change of scenery, because then you can definitely put, I think, Bayley into that kind of contention for the title as well, because it would be fresh. Liv Morgan versus Bayley would be a different matchup, and I think I'd have a lot of time for it. But even if that's not the direction you want, maybe you can go Bayley versus Rhea Ripley or whatnot.
Right. Could you see Bayley in a potential, maybe a one-off reunion with Damage Control, or a all-around reunion?
No.
And as well as you mentioned Becky Lynch coming to SmackDown, do we see Seth Rollins get that move to SmackDown as well?
I'm not going to lie, this is exactly what I would do. There's rumors that both CM Punk and Seth Rollins will have their first match at January 6th on Netflix. I would flat out say the winner is on Raw. Whoever loses goes to SmackDown. And I would have CM Punk beat Seth Rollins, because I would save it. If I'm not doing that first match at WrestleMania, then I'm not doing a rematch at WrestleMania. I'm going to save it. And then you can have Seth Rollins go to SmackDown, where the first person who can test him out for, hey, you lost. Now, here's the thing. Imagine if this guy stays on SmackDown, but how good would it be if a smartass like Carmelo Hayes gets in Seth Rollins' grill about losing to CM Punk, and that's your feud to cap off on SmackDown right away?
I could get behind that. I mean, as I missed the first 15, 20 minutes of the show, could we potentially see, even though they've had that history, that mutual respect of Seth Rollins joining Drew McIntyre? Or do we see Cody Rhodes potentially go to Seth and say, hey, look, I told you at WrestleMania I owed you. I want to give you your title match.
Yeah, I mean, it all depends because, like, I think it's definitely smart to keep Drew and CM Punk separate for right now. I think I'd be more wanting to keep Rollins and Punk together than Drew and Punk. But I also kind of think Roman Reigns is going to Raw. And I want to see that Roman Reigns versus Punk match. If you do move Cody over to Netflix and you move Gunther over to SmackDown, which I think could happen, I mean, then you're looking at a potential Cody versus Punk as well.
Yes.
I don't know. Like, this is why I think it's very interesting, because you can make a case for any of these stars to be a focal point on Netflix, but you know that there's going to be 3 to 6.
Right. Now, and again, you're alluding to Cody and Gunther potentially trading places. Do they just keep their respective belts, or do we have that exchange?
Yeah. Why would they? Like, there's no SmackDown Raw title anymore.
Okay.
Right? Like, back then you had the SmackDown Tag Champions, the Raw Tag Champions. The name of the brand was part of the name of the championship.
Right.
Now it's just you're either the WWE champion or you're the World Heavyweight Champion. The only thing I would say that if, say, the Judgment Day's titles goes to SmackDown, that red banner changes to blue.
Right.
And that would be the subtle difference I would do.
Could we also see, if, let's say, we do get Seth Rollins moving to SmackDown, we get that potential thing with Cody, do we see Seth potentially form an alliance with Drew, with KO, because they have history with the Bloodline? Cody's got history with all of them.
I'll say this. If I'm doing that, then they have to be on the same brand as the Bloodline. But right now, I could expect maybe Drew McIntyre and Kevin Owens joining an alliance before anybody else. And this is why I think, and I don't have anything to go off this other than my own head, I don't think it's far-fetched to think Kevin Owens could walk out tomorrow with the title based on Drew McIntyre taking out people that align themselves with Roman Reigns and the Bloodline. Right. Cody Rhodes did that. So I'm just putting speculation there from my own self. I think Drew McIntyre could help Kevin Owens win the title tomorrow.
Actually, when we did our predictions show on Turnbuckle Talk, I had both championships changing hands tomorrow.
I know. I heard you had all of the titles just going to somebody different.
Excuse me a moment.
Oh, as we're watching a show that has a pop of the night, OMD's Locker Room Visit has a plop of the night coming. So let everyone. Yeah, that's right.
I like that, the wordplay there.
Mm-hmm. Get it? Because I think he's pooping people. And if not, he probably falls in. So it's just a bigger plop. And who doesn't like the word plop? Could call him Mary Ploppins.
Oh, geez. See, this is what I get for having a computer that I had to clean out. I've lost track. I've lost track of everything. I was trying to look for this. If you want to do some plopping of your, yeah, I was going to say, if you want to do some plopping of your own, just plop it down in front of your computer, type in carlcarafel.redbubble.com, and get yourself an OMD locker room visit shirt or anything else from the Turnbuckle Affiliation Program as sold under Carl Carafel's Redbubble.
And one of these days, we are going to get those images on this thing. One of these days, we're going to.
Yeah.
It's not today, but it's going to be one of these days.
I believe Carl has most of those images, so I'll have to get a hold of him to send me them.
Yeah.
Actually, I was talking to him this afternoon. I could have gotten him to do that then.
So now we can blame you. All right. All right.
Nice attempt at that reversal from the Bayley to belly there, but
Nice little
that was
ode
actually
to the
nicely
hubby.
executed. I was just going to say that was a nicely executed Rough Rider.
And that was a good variation of the zigzag by Bayley.
And she added some stank on that kill switch.
Hey, it's the pretty her.
Yes.
The kill switch is not even a
What she called it. So I called it the unprettier.
No, she actually
You
calls
just
it
called
the
it
unprettier her.
The unpretty.
I realized what I had said.
You called it the kill switch. And only Captain Charisma calls it the kill switch.
Only Luchasaurus can be called kill switch now. But we have set finals as it is. Chelsea Green going up against Michin in the Women's United States final. So one of those individuals will be your first inaugural Women's United States champion.
So another impassioned promo there from the Motor City Machine Guns, and we get a one-on-one of Alex Shelley and Johnny Gargano next week.
That's going to be a hell of a match.
So what match are you guys now excited to see most tomorrow night, as we do have now the final card set for Saturday night's main event?
That's a tough one because they all have their own qualities to each match.
I think for me, I got to go with the triple threat: Gunther versus Priest versus Finn.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've got a lot of intrigue in that match, a lot of interest in that match too, but I'm gonna go with Cody and Kevin, based off just how much fuel to the fire has been added to that feud.
Right.
Because with the way that started off with Kevin Owens not even wanting a championship match from Cody in the first place,
Right.
to this being an all-out blood feud between the two.
Right. Some non-related WWE news. There was a sneak attack at TNA Final Resolution, and one of the most controversial women in all of wrestling is back.
Oh, we already knew that. Tessa Blanchard.
Yeah.
It was announced yesterday.
Oh, I saw it today that she was expected back. I didn't expect it tonight. But
Yeah, but OMD was reporting that she officially made her return.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Not the rumor that was put out yesterday.
Yeah.
Because the video of it is now online.
But I'm interested to see how she does this time around, and I'm hoping that she grew up, because the way she left TNA in the first place was she didn't have exactly a good relationship with them when she left.
No, she didn't.
Who'd she take out again?
Jordan Grace.
Interesting.
And there's this Shinsuke Nakamura that I was expecting.
Yeah. Basically laying a threat to the entire SmackDown roster. Leads me to further believe that Tiffy's cashing in on Nia.
What makes you say that?
Oh, I don't know. Just a hunch.
Well, as you have the hunch, I'm going to base on that promo that we got since we saw Candice LeRae sneak herself into the tag team title match with Nia instead of Tiffany. I think that's all the speed that Tiffany needs to be catapulted into maybe popping Candice in the face with that briefcase, only to hand it to that ref. As we get our little nice promo for Saturday night's main event. I'm curious to see what their stage is going to look like, if they actually have something like unique or
Right? I kind of want the. I was gonna say I kind of want that old school entrance with the neon going up and just the WWE logo and the classic.
Well, the only thing I saw was Jesse Ventura gave an interview the other day saying everything's going to be right stripped back as far as the entranceway goes. He said there's not going to be any ramps or anything like that. But I do kind of want to see that old neon light entranceway they used to have.
Yep.
now. Since we know the finals of the United States Championship match for the women, When do we think the Women's Intercontinental Championship is going to be won? And who do we think wins it?
I think the finals are on the January 6th Raw. But I'm not quite sure who I have picked to win it yet.
And I was going to say, I think if you're already going to have an overloaded show, I think you wait till Saturday night's main event, January 25th.
In San Antonio.
In San Antonio. Now, with her opponent in the next round being somebody she's going to have a lot of history with, I'd love to see Dakota Kai win. I do have Dakota Kai versus Lyra in the final, but I think it is Lyra coming out on top.
Yeah, I'm going to have to.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, I'm going to have to agree. Lyra takes it. I like Dakota. I do like Dakota in that chase for the Intercontinental title. Because I do feel like that's where you could go afterwards with her.
The only other person, if it's not Lyra, this is a time where I'm like, okay, if it's somebody who's a little bit more tenured, and somebody like Natalya could be that person. However, if she does that, I kind of want them to go and bring it back a little bit more old school. I want to see Bret Hart be the one that would hand her the championship. I would want to see something monumental like that. And I think that would be really cool if that's going to be happening. In fact, I think Bret Hart should be the one who hands the Intercontinental Championship to whoever the winner is.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's not him, then
I think if you're going to do that in San Antonio, and I like where you're going with Bret, but I think you got to go with HBK in that regard.
Well, I was gonna say, if it's not Natalya and it's like, say you do that baby versus baby match, then you should do somebody else. But I mean, at the same time, I don't think where it is really matters anymore. I don't think they need, like, Shawn Michaels hasn't been there the last time they're in San Antonio. I didn't see him at the Rumble when I went there.
Right.
Yeah.
And I don't think he was on any show. So I think we're over that hometown hump when it comes to San Antonio and Michaels. I think it's more about the Intercontinental Championship and the historic event of that. But Shawn Michaels himself, also a pretty well-known IC champion.
I mean, if he wasn't employed by AEW, I'd have Chris Jericho do it too.
Yeah. Or The Miz.
No, right now I don't want. I think any current superstars are just a terrible idea.
Mm-hmm.
It overshadows in my eyes. I think Bret Hart, if it's Natty, makes the most sense. But if it's not, then
right. Now, I do think that, potentially, and you look, because in this Monday's match, it's what? Raquel Rodriguez, Shayna Baszler, and I can't remember the third.
No, it's Zoe Stark, Raquel Rodriguez, and Kaden Carter.
Yeah, and then Alba Fire, Kairi Sane, and Natty.
For someone who's as big of a Dakota Kai fan as yourself, you should know she won the match with Shayna Baszler in it.
I forgot. I got Zoe and Shayna mixed up. So we know that she's got the history, of course, with the Pure Fusion Collective. She's got history with Raquel. So that's where you could see a Kaden Carter come in and steal the win. Or you have that match somehow end in a no contest, and so you have to have a triple threat match in the final.
No, because if that's the case, then Dakota Kai just moves to the finals, and then you'd have your 2 semifinals, right?
Yeah.
She was just gonna buy. The finals is gonna be a 1-on-1s match. What I would do then is I'd prolong the 1 week, and then if you have that, I would have a scramble match from those 3 plus the people who have lost already as your second chance to get back in there to face Dakota Kai. But I don't think you really need to go that route. I do think we're going to probably see Rhea Ripley be that person to kind of negate Raquel's chances there. I think we're probably looking at Zoe Stark winning that match.
I mean, it was pretty obvious that this was going to break down into a brawl between the 2 men.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if they decided to put this match in like a steel cage and they brought back the old blue bar steel cage just for Saturday Night Main Event?
I would love it.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure Kevin Owens and Cody Rhodes would say, I hate Chris best for that idea. You know, that takes a lot of urge not to sell that drop of that championship on you because that thing weighs a good amount.
It's a good 15 pounds, I figure.
Oh, I'm sure it's probably.
I think it's 20 to 25 pounds.
Yeah, I was going to say it's at least around that 20 mark.
Yeah, that's true too. Because I remember holding the Mounties Intercontinental title and thinking, "Fuck, this belt is a little bit on the heavy side."
Well,
That does it for this week's edition of SmackDown.
Yes, it does. Gentlemen, overall thoughts?
of all of the wrestling shows I've seen, that was the last one.
Yep. No, it was actually a really good show. A good way to close off everything leading into tomorrow night's Saturday night's main event. Definitely has me more interested in the Cody KO feud. A lot of interesting moments from tonight's show.
I'm just very proud that right from the get-go, and I have documented footage of this, I called the U.S. tournament to a T, exactly to a T. And I'm very happy about that. I'm very happy that Chelsea Green and Michin are in a position to set history tomorrow. That is, I think, going to be, if you ask me, that is my match I'm most looking forward to seeing, simply because it is, you only have one shot to watch the first ever U.S. Women's Championship match, and that will take place tomorrow. And I really am happy that one of those two are going to set history and become the first ever women's mid-card champion in history. Now, we have somebody else doing it on the Raw side with the Intercontinental Championship, but this is going to be the first one done. And I think it's just going to be absolutely fantastic to see. So, yeah, I think of all matches, they're all great, but I'm very happy to see that now. And the fact that it's somebody different, it's not, a Bayley, it's not a Charlotte, it's not a well-known name that's been in the WrestleMania main event scene or in the title picture or not. It's a fresh, new feel, and now we get to see that rematch from the dumpster match from Michin and Chelsea Green. And I'm saying it here. We saw Michin win in that dumpster match, but the trash is going to be taken out by Chelsea Green, who walks out as your United States champion.
Okay.
Yep. OMD, what were your thoughts on the show?
Great show all around. I know, like I said, I missed the first 20 minutes, which you did fill me in on. So I'm very intrigued to go back and watch that here at 11 o'clock. Again, a lot of everything is going to be settled tomorrow night, and then you're going to start really building now for the next 2 months and the road to WrestleMania.
Yeah, and this is such a good time too, because even though we know we're gonna get maybe a little bit of a lull with these tape shows, we know that it's coming full circle, because we know why. Because January 6th comes just in a few weeks, and that's going to be an historic moment. All this trade window stuff is going to end. We're going to get our clarity of who's going to be on Raw, who's on SmackDown, who's going to be in NXT, and then we're setting our sights next for that San Antonio Saturday night's main event. And then right after that, you got the Royal Rumble. And after that, all bets are off, because your road to WrestleMania begins. So it's a very exciting time, probably the most exciting time to be a fan of the WWE.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Right on that note, guys, what do you say we give out those old socials, starting with you, Mr. Parrish?
Yeah, you can check me out on my Linktree there over at Linktree/Chris Parrish. You can check out all 5 of those platforms where you can see the Chris Parrish podcast every Sunday at 12:15 p.m. Eastern. And if you're wondering what those are Twitch, that's Instagram, that is X, That is Facebook, and that is YouTube. And then you also want to make sure that you're going to rogueenergy.com and using the promo code PARISH at checkout to save 10%. Because why? Because it's a great product, and it helps put money in my pocket so I could go to Beercade YEG and have an amazing time there, who are the paying sponsor to the Chris Parrish podcast. So you want to check out Beercade on the X and on the Instagram, or go to 10544 82nd Ave in Edmonton, Alberta. And if you're in Edmonton, Alberta, say this week, say tomorrow, and you want to check out some local wrestling, yeah, boys and tag team action at the Real Canadian Wrestling at the Norwood Legion.
Sweet deal. And OMD, how's about you?
Well, the people, you can find me at my Linktree, linktr.ee /OMDShow. And to you, Mr. Best.
All right, you guys can look for me at my Linktree, which is linktr.ee /Chris_best83. Tomorrow night for the PLE Patrol, you'll see myself and OMD running the show. And on that note, OMD, what are those famous words we like to go out on?
Ladies and gentlemen, the world is a scary place. Take care of each other. From all of us here at Turnbuckle Studios, the Turnbuckle Affiliation Program, and the Chris Parrish podcast, to those of you out there, wherever you are, good night, good luck, we out.
I'll be there when you're down, when you're losing your crown, till the afterglow, the afterglow. Fading away, you look so great when you gotta shine. One more thought of you is gone now, as you keep smiling at the crowd. Pressure is your best enemy, spotlights show what I wanna see. Sometimes it feels like you're under attack, you're just getting